Hey, I want to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Michael Zwick on the line, and he is the owner and president over at Assets International, and this is a very special podcast 2020 reunion. That's where I bring on a guest I had on in the past, and I liked him so much I brought him back for another round. First off, Michael, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. We're delighted to be here, Adam.
Awesome. And so I'm excited to get into this new product you have launched. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Assets International. Tell us a little bit more about the business.
Yeah, so Assets International, we're based here in Detroit area, but we work all over, as our name indicates, internationally. We are a licensed private investigation agency. We've been in business now for nearly 19 years. And we do not do the chasing cheating husbands at 2 a.m. or stuff like that. All we do is we locate money that the owners don't know about, or in some cases know about, but they need help prying out of the hands of whatever government agency or bank or whoever has it. And we've been doing that, like I said, for 19 years. We have recovered over $110 million at this point, and we just love helping out people.
Man, that's outstanding. Let's speaking of helping out people, I think that's a great transition. I know you recently launched a new service where you're helping heirs track down assets of recently deceased kin. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so in the past we've always taken the approach of first we find the assets, then we find the people, and that's always been our approach. But a few months ago, a large nonprofit that we've done work for in the past, we got a letter from a probate court in Columbus, Ohio, and the letter said that this individual passed away, left her entire estate to our client, and our client knew nothing about her and needed help finding the assets. So we started digging a little bit, and we realized that there's a good amount there. And then we started thinking, well, wait a minute, there's other people that could really use this service. And I started, talking to probate attorneys, started talking to other people, looking around at, I'm 49 now, and I've got, fortunately, my parents are alive and well, but I see friends or relatives who have parents who have passed away, sometimes where the parents live in one state, all their children live somewhere else. And when someone dies and the heirs, whoever they might be, or whoever's benefiting from the estate, might not have the time or the resources or just the mental energy to deal with going through the house to go through all the paperwork, and also going where even there's no paperwork to indicate anything, and then also dealing, like I said, with prying that money out from banks, insurance companies, mutual funds. Sometimes they're not so easy to deal with, but that's what we've been doing here for 19 years. So we said, why don't we apply that experience and expertise that we already have into this area that sorely needs it?
To me, I still have trouble finding out how this happens, and I think on our first interview, I had you explain it to me a little further, because I just don't get it. Like, how does money get I shouldn't say misplaced, but misappropriated like that, to where they want the heirs to get it, they want somebody to get it, and then it just doesn't happen?
So in the instance of our first business, really what happens is, excuse me for a second there. People move, people die, whatever. So a bank account, a bank could have an account, and somebody, passes away and has, $20,000 in checking accounts, and the heirs don't know about that. The checking account's out there. The bank, at a certain period of time by law, is supposed to turn that money over to the state to hold on for them. Mm-hmm. So, and the bank's not going to go through the effort of determining who the owner's heirs are. They just want to follow, they just want to do their job, which is to close up the accounts and follow what the law requires. But there are other instances. We've had plenty of cases where somebody opens a probate estate for somebody, and we had a case a few years ago where a guy left $20,000 to a foster child from 25 years before.
Wow.
And he passed away, and his attorney didn't, all he had was a name to go on, and just, the name and the county where they lived, and obviously an approximate age of how old this former foster child was. And turned to us and said, can you find this guy? So those are just kind of two examples, but there are plenty of other examples. There are, back in the day, people buy, life insurance policies that through some quirks in the law became stock, and the insurance companies owed the stock to people and just wanted to get it to them, or get it off their hands, I should say. So they just turned it over to the states. There are a whole variety of reasons, but there are literally billions and billions of dollars out there just in the state treasury, not counting all the other government treasuries that have money for people.
And so, switching back to your service that's helping heirs track down assets, what does this look like? So, how if somebody I'm just trying to figure out how this looks. So basically, somebody finds out that that they think they have assets, and you go find them, or give me a little bit more around that one.
So, unfortunately, not everybody communicates so well before they pass away as to their assets. So you take, for example, someone like that just passes away, never really wrote down where they had their bank accounts and life insurance policies and stuff like that. And now their, kids who might be adults with lives of their own, living in another state, say, okay, I know, I'm going to be the executor of Dad's estates, but I have no idea where his assets are. I don't know where he banked. I don't know where he bought stock. And I don't have the time to dig into it. I don't have the time. And some people, it's obviously I should hope for most people, when they lose a loved one, it's also a stressful time and an emotional time. And they just, like I said, lack the time, the emotional energy, or the expertise to deal with digging into where someone might have their assets.
And it's hard. I know. I mean, when I was a financial advisor, I would remember, especially when people held individual stock certificates. So when people had stock certificates, and especially when they bought them directly from the companies, I mean, they could, it went through drip plans or something like that. If we're going, old school. Those things, I mean, you got one person that has, that had 15 drip plans, and you're just that alone, the amount of time it takes to call and to facilitate paperwork from 15 different companies to get stock even just consolidated into one account. I mean, geez, we're talking hours and hours, to where you're right. If somebody, I think your service is amazing. It's because for somebody that's working, that has kids, that has other things going on, there is no way. That's a part-time job to get those assets consolidated, and that could take a year, could take more. It just depends on what's in line, and everybody's paperwork's different, and especially if somebody's never navigated that. So luckily, I had at that point worked with in many of these cases, but. If somebody was going in there blind or fresh and had never done this before, it's you're learning a whole new skill set.
Right. And as with certain things, you're willing to incur a learning curve if you're going to reuse that skill again.
Yeah.
But most people hopefully are not going to have to deal with this more than once or twice. So we all only have so many parents or aunts and uncles. So it's not like it's something that someone could say, okay, I mean, some people will. We are working on materials that people can take and do this on their own. And that's a little more down the road. But for those people who just say, you know what, I just don't have time. And I don't want to spend the time to do it when it's going to be a once or twice in a lifetime thing. You guys are the experts. Why don't you just do it for me?
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Michael, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Assets International or to connect them, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Well, there's our website. So it's assetsinternational.com, ASSETS, international.com. So they can go on our website. There's a contact page there. They can reach me directly at mzwick, MZWICK, at assetsinternational.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. Feel free to hit me up there with a connection request down there. I accept from pretty much anybody. So just reach out to us. You can also call us. Our phone number is 248-557-4960, and we'll help you out any way we can.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Michael, really appreciate you coming back on the show and sharing more about the great work you're doing. And congrats on the new product. I think you're doing a lot of good with it, help a lot of people.
Thank you.
So I'm excited about that.
I appreciate it. We are really, really excited about this, and we're just, it's really got my juices going lately.
That's awesome. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Michael, thanks again for coming on.
My pleasure. Have a great day.